Welcome to another episode of the Tobago House of Assembly's Post-Executive Council Media Briefing. This week, the Secretary of Infrastructure, Quarries and the Environment, Kwesi Des Vignes, and the Secretary of Tourism, Culture and Transportation, Nadine Stewart-Phillips, addressed the media.
Let me wish you all a happy International Day of Happiness. For those of you who haven't so been wished already. Of course, I think it's very important that we always find a good reason to be happy. Your mental health depends on it, and even healthy societies depends on it. So a happy International Day of Happiness to you all. Of course, welcome to the post-executive briefing. For today, I have with me Councillor Nadine Stewart-Phillips, the Secretary of Tourism, Culture and Transportation. And as is customary and chivalry is not dead, I would like to wish the Councillor International Day of Happiness, Happy International Day of Happiness, and turn over to her at this time.
I begin with the highly anticipated Pan-American Dragon Boat Crew Championship 2019. And if I'm allowed to just give a little history about Dragon Boat. Dragon Boat racing has its roots in ancient Chinese folklore dating back more than 2,000 years. And 8 years ago, the then Division of Tourism and Transportation adopted this sport and integrated it into the vibrant cultural fabric of Tobago as part of its Sport Tourism Trust. The president of the Trinidad and Tobago Dragon Boat Federation, Mr. Keith Dallip, whose bold acceptance of the Pan Am flag at the championships in 2017, resulting in the hosting of this highly acclaimed event here in Tobago. And there will definitely be no better place to spend the upcoming weekend than at the Pigeon Point Heritage Park for the Pan American Dragon Boat Club Crew Championship being hosted in Tobago for the very first time during the period March 22nd to March 24th. The destination is set to welcome over 1,000 persons, including athletes, coaches, sports enthusiasts, and their families for a mixture of sport and culture. This international Dragon Boat event heralds the continued revival of our Sport Tourism Trust on the island and will definitely put Destination Tobago on the map as a premier destination for competitive water sports in the Caribbean. There are currently 41 registered clubs from Trinidad and Tobago, Panama, the United States of America, and Canada. The world's current #1 ranked Dragon Boat team, 22 Dragons out of Canada, will also be on island to participate in this event. The Division of Tourism, Culture and Transportation, and by extension the Tobago House of Assembly, we are indeed pleased and extremely excited to be collaborating with the Trinidad and Tobago Dragon Boat Federation to host this event. And by placing emphasis on the sport of dragon boat racing, we are not only bringing athletes together in camaraderie, cooperation, and unity, but we are definitely developing the water sport tourism products for the island of Tobago. The conditions at Pigeon Point are dissimilar to those of other countries where club crew championships have been held, and that necessitated the ordering and construction of a special type of dragon boat. Dragon boat racing is really for flat water, which does not exist at Pigeon Point, and so this event has been marketed as extreme dragon boat racing. This approach really piqued the interest of some participants who we know are looking forward to this challenge, as it will be the first for a lot of the athletes. These 12 boats with accompanying equipment were purchased by the division and will remain the property of the Tobago House of Assembly. The Dragon Boat Association did indicate that one of the benefits from this investment will include ensuring that there is a schedule of international dragon boat related activities happening in Tobago annually, which will of course bring visitors to the island. Additionally, there is the established Tobago Dragon Boat Festival held in June each year by the division in collaboration with the Dragon Boat Association, where the equipment will be put to use there as well. This is a unique opportunity for our visitors to capitalize on a great sporting experience here in Tobago whilst enjoying the richness of Tobago's indigenous culture and other aspects of our island's tourism offerings. I want to give special commendation to the volunteers who signed up and accepted all the responsibilities to ensure the successful execution of this event. Tomorrow, Thursday, will be the grand opening ceremony, which will see the teams parade through the streets of Scarborough and culminate at the Milford Road Esplanade for the official opening ceremony. Additionally, we would have a few of the dragon boats on display as well during the parade. So we do look forward to the media being there to cover the activities of this weekend. I move now to our tourism, our school tourism youth clubs, our community tourism project. The division, in keeping with our mandate to extend the trust, the Tobago House of Assembly's mandate, to promote positive youth development on the island, starting in November of 2017, established tourism youth clubs in secondary schools throughout the island. This significant youth initiative forms part of the division's community public education and awareness program. It is targeted to secondary schools on the island and focuses on the educational, social, and cultural opportunities in tourism. These clubs also serve as a catalyst to stimulate interest and involvement, and definitely provides an avenue for an engaging and interactive forum, thereby allowing them to see tourism as a viable career option, drive entrepreneurial opportunities, and become future tourism ambassadors. To this end, the clubs have engaged in several tourism initiatives. Of these initiatives, a key one is the execution of community tourism projects in their respective schools through a collaboration with the Department of Tourism. It is envisioned that these projects will impact the following: create opportunities for sustainable partnerships between the school, the community, and the division, stimulate youth interest in the tourism sector and allow them to engage in research on Tobago's tourism product offerings and rich cultural heritage, aid in the preservation of our local traditions and culture, impact revenue generation, create opportunities for youths to undertake tourism-related initiatives such as the rehabilitation of historical sites and relics within their respective school communities. To date, 4 tourism youth clubs through their respective schools have heeded to the request and submitted viable projects for implementation, and we are currently working with the other clubs to ensure their projects are submitted as well. And if I just give a quick summary of the projects that we have received thus far, we have the Goodwood Secondary School Mill Ruin Experience, telling our story, and this project seeks to restore and develop the old sugarcane mill located on the compound of Goodwood Secondary School into a revenue generating and historical attraction site for local and visitors alike. The objectives: to promote the mill ruin site as a viable historical tourism site, to educate visitors via dramatical and visual presentation of the history and operations of the mill, to engender youth entrepreneurship in tourism, and to generate revenue. Speyside High School, their project is the establishment of a Speyside Art Center. It is public knowledge that Speyside High School stands out in the area of art on the island, and even so among secondary schools in the national context. And this art center will serve to provide a space and platform for students to showcase their work and also display Tobago's rich artistic heritage for our locals and visitors. The objectives to create a safe environment for young artists and students to learn, develop, and exhibit their art, to recognize and celebrate outstanding artistic youths from the island of Tobago, and to use art as a medium for diversifying Tobago's tourism product. We have the Roxborough Secondary School. They are going to establish a tourism information center, and this tourism information center will be located within the school community and will serve as a tourism resource information center targeting the wider Roxborough community and environments. The objectives to educate and sensitize students on the importance of tourism, to create awareness and appreciation of tourism among students and the wider community, and to use this as a medium to promote tourism outreach programs. We have the Mason Hall Secondary School. They submitted an entrepreneurial project. This is a tourism entrepreneurial activity where the students would be exposed to the production of local soaps, sweets, drinks, and other related products. They would learn to package and advertise their products for sale at diverse tourism and business events. Trained persons from the Mason Hall community will be included and have already consented to be utilized as tutors. The objective, students would be exposed to entrepreneurial opportunities in the tourism sector, learn different marketing strategies used to sell local products and generate income. And of course, it provides a great opportunity to teach students different skill sets. Now, given the project summary, I am pleased to inform that the Goodwood Secondary School Tourism Youth Club did initiate their Mill Ruin Experience community project. There was a sod turning ceremony on Friday, 15th March 2019, which marked the initiation of this unique community tourism project, Mill Ruin Experience. The overall project is conceptualized as a tourism product, a new tourism product, which affords a unique experience to visitors to this historical site. And it is envisioned that the visits will be structured, educational, and income generating. These projects will be managed by the Division of Tourism, Culture and Transportation, our project implementation unit, in collaboration with the youth club and the school's coordinating team. The actual works will be done and supported by a team from the Division of Infrastructure, Quarries and the Environment, and I should probably take this opportunity to again thank my colleague for making his unemployment relief program workers available to the division to provide the required labor. We have a working relationship with the Division of Infrastructure, Quarries and the Environment. And so I really want to commend the Goodwood Secondary School for taking the lead on this initiative as we look forward to continue working with our youths on other community initiatives as we strive to promote positive youth development and youth in tourism development on the island and ensure the optimal experience of our island's history and rich cultural heritage.
I start with the unemployment relief program, as she just left off on that. Again, you all would have recalled that we would have done a lot of work in the division. We would have done an operational audit, and we would have looked deep into the URP program to ensure that we can truly rebrand it as being useful, relevant, and productive. And based on even the report from the Secretary for Tourism, you would recognize that URP really has been making significant strides. The workers of the program have been doing amazing work, and I really want to take this time to really salute the workers and the management of the unemployment relief program for the work that they've been producing. I think the workers themselves feel a lot more proud to be a part of this program. They've been a lot more productive. Of course, it's still a work in progress, but it's good to see that we are churning out many projects from within the URP program, and this is in the construction program, from a furniture workshop, the concrete workshop, and even the agricultural program, and as well with the women's program, where we are training and retooling women to go off into entrepreneurship. And you've seen that with a lot of the work that we have done, a lot of the partnerships that we've had with many persons to train the workers in URP. And of course, this has included CADI, the Cocoa Development Company, and others. And they have come on board significantly with us. So again, let me say hats off to the Unemployment Relief Program workers. They continue to amaze us with the high quality work. And I really want to encourage persons in Tobago, if you want good quality work done, please engage the Unemployment Relief Program, especially the furniture workshop, the woodworking unit. They're doing excellent work. And we will continue to partner with the Division of Tourism, Culture and Transportation, and other divisions. As a matter of fact, we have a partnership as well with the Division of Health, Wellness and Family Development and others, and we're looking forward to these partnerships. And again, these things are not by accident, they are by design. Actually, the person who was very adamant about the restructuring of the Unemployment Relief Program was the Chief Secretary, the Honorable Kelvin Charles. And he would have spent a lot of time as well with us as we restructure the program to ensure that we get maximum benefits from the program. And I just want to switch gears quickly to the environment. And tomorrow, along with it being World Down Syndrome Day, so I hope that you all are wearing your colorful socks tomorrow. Tomorrow is actually also the International Day of Forests. And of course, the Division of Infrastructure, Quarries and the Environment, with our responsibilities, we are also joining in the celebration. We have the Main Ridge Forest Reserve, which you know, the award-winning Main Ridge Forest Reserve, which we are seeking to really develop in a way that it can be recognized and that we can monetize the resources that the natural resources that we have. And it's funny that we're doing all of this and there's still people from Tobago who have never hiked or walked through the rainforest. And I really want to encourage you all to get the word out to Tobagonians. Please go and see what the forest has to offer, the rainforest has to offer. But as I said, we would have formed the Northeast Tobago Protected Area Management Trust, and they have been moving ahead. The trust is already established. We are looking towards, as I would have indicated previously, UNESCO designation for the Main Ridge Forest Reserve. And to that end, we have already come up with a communications plan, a stakeholder engagement plan, and a management plan. And all of these have been submitted by the consultant to the division for us to formalize these plans and put them to use. So in the coming weeks, we will be engaging the public on the issue of UNESCO designation for the Main Ridge Forest Reserve. I also want to commend the Division of Food Production, Forestry and Fisheries for their Main Ridge Forest Fitness Challenge, which is in celebration of the 243rd anniversary of the protected status of the Main Ridge Forest Reserve. Please, y'all, let's go out. You can run, walk, cycle through the rainforest, and I think it will be a great experience, so I will certainly be there. On another note, today the Executive Council would have approved the request by the Division of Infrastructure, Quarries and the Environment to host the inaugural Tobago Environment Partnership Conference. This conference will be held on May 13th and 14th, 2019. So we look forward to the official launch of this groundbreaking conference. Of course, we are taking a lot more seriously the way we view the environment and the preservation of the environment in the context of the sustainable development of our island. So we are looking at a very coordinated approach to the management of our environment, and through this conference we are hoping to bring together over 120 to 150 stakeholders, be it in the government, non-NGOs, private sector, that we will all come together to really look deeply into the management of Tobago's natural resources. We'll be looking at a number of different themes, including climate change, renewable energy, sargassum, waste management, and many more. So there will be an official launch to this Environmental Partnership Conference. So please stay tuned for the information as we start disseminating and ramping up the marketing for this inaugural conference. Of course, all will be welcome and informed about the conference. Very soon as well, the parking and traffic study that we would have commissioned, the findings have been submitted to the division, and the contractor Carrytrans Limited, to be Caribbean Transportation Consultancy Services Company Limited, they have completed the job and they've submitted it for our review. Once that review has been completed and we are happy with the results, we will be doing a press conference to release the formal data. Of course, this data will be very important as we look to modernize our key thoroughfares, as well as parking in Scarborough in particular and in Crown Point. We know that we have to look at modernizing and upgrading our parking facilities in Scarborough and Crown Point. And this study, we don't want to do things by guess. So this study is going to guide the way forward. From the results of this study, we will know if we need to do a multi-story car park, should we start having paid parking on the streets, and so on. So once the results are ready, the findings are ready, we will be releasing them to the press and, of course, the public. Many persons complain about the congestion that resulted from the work that we are doing on the Claude Noel Highway rehabilitation. Yes. So I just want to put some of the misconceptions to rest. So first of all, let me just say that MTS is the project manager that we would have contracted for this project. Serum Brothers Limited, they are the contractors that are doing the work. And of course, we are looking at a first phase from the Orange Hill intersection to the Northside Road or Rockley Vale traffic light. That's about 2 kilometers of work. The scope includes the rehabilitation, strengthening and repaving of the existing highway, addition of new turning lanes at the 3 intersections, construction of retaining walls to accommodate the new turning lanes, improving pedestrian access. So we'll be putting in new sidewalks, and of course, the road marking and the road safety mechanisms will be put in place. Now, when we would have put out this tender and approved the contractor, it would have been one of the prerequisites was a traffic management plan, which was submitted by the winning contractor, Serum Brothers Limited. We would have insisted that at all times there must be 2 lanes of traffic on the highway, 2 lanes flowing, of course, in opposite directions. Of course, it would have been smaller lanes. The information we have, of course, is that as well the police is supposed to handle the traffic, control the traffic, because of course they do have overall jurisdiction on the nation's roadways, and the police has been engaged. In this first phase, we've been doing milling work, as you may have noticed, which is removing the old asphalt, which we intend to repurpose, and replacing the base course, which will then be followed by a wearing course. The hours of work are really supposed to be from 12 to 3 p.m., 12 midnight to 3 p.m., of course, with allowances for the peak periods of traffic I can say that this morning the inconvenience caused was not experienced yesterday, although there was work because the traffic plan was, they did stick to the traffic plan yesterday. However, today the traffic plan was not, they did not adhere to the traffic plan today. And the information I have, and I've already spoken to Senior Superintendent George, is that the traffic police would have decided on to reroute traffic. So it was the police in their executing their duties for public safety, what they felt was the public safety. They felt it was best to reroute traffic this morning. I have since spoken to Senior Superintendent George, as I said, because we do not want a reoccurrence of that, because whereas there will be some inconvenience, we don't want that level of inconvenience to the public. But what I can say is that I really will encourage the public to please pay attention to the media. There were advisories in the newspapers today and yesterday, the division's social media pages as well. And please, I know that we are what you might term as a laissez-faire society, and persons tend to leave home 8 o'clock to get to work for 8 o'clock. But please, leave work a little bit early. As a matter of fact, persons who left home at 7:30 this morning did not experience much inconvenience. So it means that persons may have to leave home a little bit earlier. I would encourage persons to leave a little bit earlier so that the inconvenience is minimized. But I can say, in terms of the traffic plan, we will be reverting to the original traffic plan, and I will be having a meeting with the project manager, MTS, the contractor, CRAM, and the police to ensure that any misunderstandings are totally cleared up so that the inconvenience, again, is minimized moving forward during this first phase of the highway rehabilitation. Just as a reminder, this was a tendered process. The final contract sum or the approved sum is $35 million VAT exclusive. We are trying to, as always, manage these projects so that we can realize as much cost savings as possible. It's not just a repaving exercise, it's a rehabilitation exercise. So there are areas of depressions that will be remedied. There will be additional work to do, widen some areas at intersections and improve pedestrian access. So it's not just a repaving exercise as some people will have them believe. In terms of the Roxwood Administrative Complex, we are just nearing completion of the work. It's about 99% complete. Some outstanding work includes removal and replacement of the fire water lines, finishing of the HVAC and commissioning of the HVAC. Of course, we want to protect the building against corrosion, so there will be protective coatings placed on all vulnerable pieces of equipment to protect against sea blasts. We also ensure that there's enough water at the facility, and the Chief Secretary will have a facility at the Roxwood Administrative Complex. As a matter of fact, we are making adjustments to have him use not the main building but an adjoining building, because it's felt that we want to allow as much as possible the full utilization of the building for the tenants. So the Chief Secretary was kind enough to oblige in using an alternative space, but the plan was always to have an office of the Chief Secretary in the east at that location. So we look forward to that. And finally, as leader of Assembly Business, I would like to announce that by the end of this week, the final works on the Office of the Minority Leader will be completed. The handover in consultation with the Chief Administrator, I would have been advised that it was agreed with the Minority Leader that the handover of keys will take place mid-next week. The media, of course, will be allowed to tour the facility sometime early next week so they could get a first-hand view of what would have been done to accommodate the Office of the Minority Leader.
Thank you for staying with us for the Tobago House of Assembly's Post-Executive Council Media Briefing for the week ending March 23, 2019.